We're coming at you with week number 2 for mobility. We've got 4 drills lined up for you, similar to last week, but we're going to try to add on, make them a little bit tougher for you, see if you're up for the challenge. So first one's going to be world's greatest stretch, then balance toe reach with some vision drills, plank with arm reach, and then seated leg raise with lifted hips. So again, just adding a little bit of difficulty to each thing that we did last week. So starting, we always start with mobilizing the core, the spine, hips. So we'll start with what we lovingly call the world's greatest stretch. So rather than having that solid base like you had last week for the squat to reaches, now you have this fairly uneven base. So come up off the heel and back so that you're a little wobbly. More of the legs have to work to keep you stabilized. And you're just thinking about taking the fingertips forward and then arch back, reach back. So go through 10 of those, and as soon as you get used to that movement, you can kind of move through it a little more fluidly. Keep most of the weight in that front foot, so it's this big hamstring stretch for the back of that front leg, big stretch for the back, and then opens up the hip as you reach back and try to take the chin and eyes up to the ceiling. Same thing on the other side whenever you're ready. Again, root that front foot down into the ground, fingertips forward, reach, come up, reach, eyes up, arch back. So most of the weight is in his front foot. Fingertips are leading that movement. So you're going through 10 on each leg. So most of that stretch is happening in the front leg right now. Second thing we'll do are those same balanced toe reaches that we did last week. Okay, got my shoes. Except now we're going to change where your vision is. So start with the left foot. Right toe is your leading toe. Think eyes forward at about eye level and go through 5 each way forward to back. And then after you've done 5, if you're on your left leg, turn your vision, chin, eyes, everything, 90 degrees to your left. So if you're on the left foot, that's to the left, and keep doing the same thing with that foot, 5 more. And just be aware of how that affects your arms, the core, the knees, how that foot feels. And then you'll do the same thing on the other side. Right foot, start eyes forward, at eye level, reach the toe forward, reach the toe back. Think about keeping the rest of the body still so you don't have a dropped shoulder or rotated core. And then same idea, if you're on your right leg, chin right, eyes right, shoulders aren't turning with it, shoulders are staying forward, and keep going 5 more of those. Notice if that feels harder or easier than it did on the other side. We'll keep going through different variations of that. Then we'll go plank with arm reach. So hands down onto the ground, feet back, feet about as wide as shoulder width apart, or hand width apart. And you're going fingertips forward, fingertips back. Fingertips forward, fingertips back. So 5 on with the right arm. And then 5 with the left arm, same idea. Fingertips forward, pike the hips up. Fingertips forward, pike the hips. So it should feel a little harder than last week when you had both hands rooted down to the ground. Then you're going to sit down for that same seated leg lift like we did last time where we had the knee pulled in. So start in that same position. This time put the hands back behind the back, lift the hip up, hold here, and you're going through 20 little raises. And see if you can make the up quick and the down a little slower. So you're really just focused on that lift, on making the hip flexor fire quick to get the leg up. And then the same thing on that other side. So pull the leg in, spine straight up and down, root the hands down, lift the hips. Same idea, 20 sharp lifts. You counting?
Yeah.
I'll stop when he's done. All right, so that's the first round. Second round of world's greatest stretch. So go back through that split stance. Now we're trying to get the spine to move on this frontal plane. So I go arms out and think about taking one set of fingertips to point towards the ground, one set of fingertips to point towards the ceiling, and then switch. And you're doing 10 each way. So that should feel good. It should feel like it's stretching out the lower abs, the obliques. You're getting movement in the back. You should feel it in the outside of the hip. And then same thing on the other side, 10. So get that base. Most of the weight is in that front foot. Back heel is off the ground. Same idea. 10 each way. So 20 leans with that right leg in front. Then we'll go back to balance toe reaches. So root a foot down. Rather than doing that forward to back toe reach, imagine you're reaching east-west now. So toe side and touch side. 5 each way with the eyes forward. And then 5 each way. Remember, you're always gonna look towards that stationary foot. So 5 each way with that 90-degree turn with vision and chin. And then same thing on the other side. Root the foot down, eyes forward, neck is just an extension, side to side for the toe reach. And then whatever leg is rooted down, turn the chin that direction, same idea. Good, then going back to plank arm reach. So chin to the chest, roll down, walk out to a plank, feet wide. This time you're reaching out to the side and reaching to the middle between the legs. So right arm reaches out to the right, reach up between the knees. 5. Same thing on the other side. Reach the arm out, reach through the middle of the legs. And then you're going right back to those seated leg lifts. So one knee pulled in, one leg lifted, lift the hips, 20 quick out and in. See if you can keep that balancing leg still. Same thing on the other side. Pull the knee in, spine straight up and down.
We get to the third round.
We're laughing because it's raining and we're a little worried about the increase in rain throughout the workout. How long can we stay out here? All right, we'll go through one more round of each of those. So, world's greatest stretch, split stance, vertical spine, shoulders stacked over the hips, arms straight out. I like to go palms up because you get just more of a stretch through the chest, and you're doing just rotational. Do 10 each way. Think about not getting stuck on one side and then twisting and getting stuck on the other side. You're just this metronome. Switch, switch.
Like a water sprinkler.
Like a washing machine. Like anything that twists to both left and right. All right, then last time through, balance toe reach. Pick a foot to balance on. Now you're reaching, remember these reaches forward with the toe and then back with the toe. So start off eyes forward at eye level, 5 each way. You're trying to get as much swivel in this hip as possible. And then you're turning your vision 90 degrees over that balancing leg. If you're balancing on the left leg, look left. Balancing on the right leg, look right. And then same thing on the other side. Root down. Get that movement down first while the eyes are forward. So another way to make this a little harder is to change to having a vision of looking straight up. So if you mastered this feels like no problem. Next step is to look up, and even further into that is to close the eyes. So if you're feeling like you mastered that one, you can keep going and try those with vision up and with eyes closed. So plank arm reach, back down to the ground, feet back. Feet are gonna be super wide for this. So we're going up towards the ceiling with one hand, and then reach towards the opposite leg, reach through to that shin. So drop the hips, reach the arm up, pike the hips, reach towards that opposite shin. If you have any kind of shoulder injury here, watch that shoulder. You can also always go down onto the forearms if that feels better. Rotation, Reach to the opposite leg. All right, last exercise. Seated leg raise. Pull one leg in, one leg lifted, hands down by the ground, lift the hips up, hold that leg up high, and you're working on 20 little rotations. If you want to make this harder, take it also out to the diagonal and try to keep that movement isolated to that hip socket. So just rotation, rotation. And it should feel harder because now arms are working, this balancing leg is working. Same thing on that other side. So always start seated, pull that leg in, spine straight up and down, hands down, hips up, lift the leg up and try to take it out wide. And these are all great things to be doing every day before your runs. Whenever you just feel like you need an excuse to get moving, you should feel good after all of this stuff. So that's week number 2. We'll be coming at you next week with some more fun, funky variations.
Bye.